Watching your favorite idols play with adorable kids on variety shows might seem like the most wholesome content K-pop has to offer, with fans constantly gushing over how cute and natural these interactions look on camera. However, there's a much darker and more complicated side to the way the entertainment industry uses children for content that most viewers don't think about. For a long time now, it's been an established tradition in Korean media for variety show hosts to invite idols onto programs specifically to have them interact with kids, creating what most people consider to be harmless content that generates millions of views. Fans absolutely love these segments because they get to see a completely different side of their favorite artist that doesn't usually come through in music videos or performances, watching them transform from charismatic stage performers into gentle caretakers who play games with toddlers. Shows like The Return of Superman have built entire formats around this concept, regularly featuring idol guests who spend time with celebrity families and their children, generating endless compilations of idol interactions with kids that dominate YouTube recommendations and social media feeds. What's particularly interesting about this is that certain children have basically become celebrities themselves, regularly appearing across multiple idol content channels and variety shows to the point where they're recognizable names with their own fan bases. One popular example is Yijin, a young child who recently gained even more attention after appearing in G-Dragon's No Laughing birthday party content. It turns out Yijin has become quite popular throughout South Korea, making regular appearances on various YouTube channels, including Car the Garden and Q the Hairstylist content. It said even 17 Seungkwan was caught consistently liking his Instagram reels and helping boost his profile. Fans have pointed out he resembles a mini version of ENHYPEN's Sonu, and that comparison alone has driven even more attention to this kid. The little boy has been passed around to interact with various idol groups, hanging out with LE SSERAFIM's Chaewon in content where he said Nuna for the first time when addressing her, creating a viral moment that was shared across social media. He's also spent time with EXO members Sehun and Kai, with fans gushing over photos of Sehun taking pictures with him. At some point, baby Yejin even kissed Chongin on the lips during one of their interactions, and the group was shocked to find out this was the first time this had ever happened. There's also footage of him hanging out with NCT's Do-young, and honestly, we could keep going because the list is never ending. This content with children is undeniably adorable to watch in the moment, with idols often showing genuine warmth and patience that makes fans fall even deeper in love with their personalities. However, as one fan pointed out, while these videos are always cute and sweet, they're not really something to go absolutely wild over the way some people do. Netizens believe it's particularly bizarre when some fans go absolutely crazy over these videos, obsessively watching their bias interact with children and imagining future family scenarios, but then get genuinely angry when that same idol is spotted with a girlfriend or goes on a date. But beyond the parasocial relationships that these shows encourage, there are much deeper ethical concerns that have recently sparked major conversations online about whether this type of content is actually harmful to the children involved. Many fans have started drawing comparisons between shows like The Return of Superman and the controversial world of family vlogging, where parents exploit their children for content and profit. One viewer admitted that while they do find it very cute when idols handle babies well, they've always found content like Return of Superman ethically difficult to watch for multiple reasons. The fundamental problem, according to fans, is that children cannot consent to being filmed and having their lives broadcast to millions of strangers around the world. Yet, parents are making a lot of money from this content that the kids themselves will only see a small portion of, if any at all. The developmental concerns are equally troubling and often overlooked by viewers. A netizen highlighted that it can't be good for children's emotional development to constantly get attached to people they only see for a couple of hours during filming. A specific example that proved this is an issue involved ATEEZ joining one of these programs, where one of the twin girls featured on the show became very attached to member Woo Young during their short time together. While it seemed sweet and endearing in the moment as viewers watched their bond form on screen, later clips were shown of the little girl being upset because she didn't want Woo Young to leave, revealing the emotional confusion and distress that these temporary attachments create for young children who don't understand why these fun new people in their lives suddenly disappear and never come back. On X, fans have been very vocal about how they think it's incredibly strange that 2 or 3 famous children end up meeting everyone in the industry. They've argued that these kids are essentially being treated as toys or props that get passed around for content rather than actual human beings with their own needs and boundaries. Apart from the developmental issues and the fundamental lack of consent that comes with filming young kids, there are many more problems with these types of interactions. The reality is that many idols, despite being talented performers, don't actually know how to properly handle children or respect their boundaries, leading to even more odd are instances where idols get way too close to children's personal space in ways that would be considered completely unacceptable in most other contexts, including kissing children on the lips, sniffing their hair or skin while commenting on how good they smell, and grabbing or holding their feet in ways that seem more about the idol's entertainment than the child's comfort. Fans were outraged when baby Yeejin kissed Jongin on the lips, and then he and Sehun thought it was appropriate for them to say that Yeejin was good at it, referring to the kissing. Many believed this to be a very disturbing comment, which more people should have been uncomfortable with. The truth is that even if idols know how to take care of babies and children, the industry is not necessarily always a safe place, as we don't know much about who these idols are in real life. It's also important to think of how these interactions can affect the children in question later on in life. Many kids who became famous on shows like The Return of Superman during its peak in the 2010s are now growing up and facing the harsh reality of what happens when you're no longer the cute baby that everyone fell in love with on TV. The way the public loved Chu Sarang from The Return of Superman back in the 2010s, treating her like the nation's daughter and obsessing over every cute thing she did on camera, and then the absolutely brutal switch up when she grew up a little and stopped being a toddler was heartbreaking to witness. Sarang, who is now 14 years old, recently pursued modeling and landed a deal that should have been an exciting opportunity. Unfortunately, the photos from her modeling work drew immediate and harsh criticism from netizens who believed she didn't have what it takes to become a model, tearing apart a child who grew up in the public eye through no choice of her own. Another reason why this entire practice is deeply unsettling becomes clear when you think about the actual motivation behind creating this type of content in the first place. Many believe the uncomfortable truth is that idol and baby content has become massively popular specifically because it allows parasocial fans to live out fantasies about their bias, giving them a chance to see their idol in a domestic parental role and imagine what it would be like if they were the other parent in that scenario or if these were their future children together. It's essentially manufacturing boyfriend or husband material content using real children as props to make the fantasy feel more tangible and real. Even more disturbingly, this content also serves to give shippers endless fan service material to obsess over and create narratives around, whether it's imagining two group members as co-parents raising a child together or using the interactions to fuel romantic storylines between idols who are simply colleagues. Some netizens believe the underlying reason goes even deeper than fan service and entertainment value, suggesting that somehow the Korean government itself is involved in pushing this type of programming as part of a larger social agenda. One theory that has gained traction online is that the entertainment industry is being encouraged or even directed to create baby and family-oriented content as a response to South Korea's alarmingly low birth rate, which has become one of the lowest in the world and is considered a national crisis. The idea is that the government and entertainment companies are collaborating to increase this type of content with the hope of boosting the birth rate by showing citizens, particularly young women, how cute and rewarding babies can be, essentially using idol interactions with children as propaganda to make parenthood look appealing and desirable. Although many netizens believe there's been a rise in this type of content recently, it actually isn't a new phenomenon at all, and has in fact been going on for decades. The first idols to showcase behind-the-scenes real life through this type of format were actually first-generation group God back in 2000 with a show called Baby Diaries, where the members took care of a baby for a weekend. After starring in this program, the group gained a lot of fans, proving that baby content was an effective tool for expanding a K-pop group's fan base. Despite all the ethical concerns and the documented harm that comes from exploiting children like this, some fans are actually nostalgic for these shows and actively want them to come back. These netizens argue that Hello Baby wasn't just a one-day experience, but rather a long-term journey where K-pop groups were given the responsibility of caring for children over weeks or months, allowing idols to genuinely bond and develop real emotional connections with the kids. They reminisce about watching idols who started completely clueless about childcare gradually learn patience, compassion, and affection through repeated interactions. It's safe to say that not a lot of netizens agree with the idea of bringing this format back, as in today's day and age, it might cause a lot more harm than intended. Let us know what you think in the comments down below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to not miss any new videos. Thanks for watching, bye!